Hello, hello everybody. A good day to you. Today we will start discuss chemical reaction equilibria of the subject chemical engineering thermodynamics, and the content discussed here is from the reference book Introduction to Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 8th edition by Smith and Vanesh. This ebook has been given to you. All you have this ebook. So whenever you are listening the lecture, please open the ebook and see it for the better understanding. It starts from chapter 14, chemical reaction equilibria. What we are going to cover in this unit is introduction. What is the role of chemical equilibria study in chemical engineering, production and process plant design? Individually, we will study in detail the reaction coordinate or extent of reaction, mathematical relation development of this extent of reaction to composition in terms of mole fraction, and equilibrium composition. Then we will study what is the criteria of chemical reaction, condition of chemical equilibrium, then equilibrium constant, how it change with reaction temperature, what is the relation between temperature, equilibrium constant, heat of reaction, and Gibbs energy of reaction. All these things we will discuss. Of course, with respect to gas phase reaction and with respect to liquid phase reactions, all will be covered. Then we will calculate the equilibrium constant and equilibrium conversion for single reaction, for multiple reactions, for gas phase reactions, and for liquid phase reactions. Then the phase rule also will discuss, and application of all this with respect to single and multiple reactions. Now you see what is the importance of this study. In any chemical engineering study, it focuses the transformation of raw material into variety of finished products, varieties of intermediate products. So this transformation of raw material into products of greater value by means of chemical reaction is a major industry, and a vast array of commercial products is obtained by chemical synthesis. For example, you take sulfuric acid, ammonia, ethylene, polythene, phosphoric acid, chlorine, nitric acid, urea, benzene, methanol, ethanol, ethylene glycol, just to name a few. So there are several other products also, inorganic and organic chemicals. What you are studying in your chemical technology 1 and chemical technology 2 subjects. Apart from finished products, there are large number of intermediate chemicals also there, and for example, large scale manufacture of fibers, paints, detergents, plastics, rubber, paper, and fertilizer, to name a few. Other products produced by chemical reaction ranges from pharmaceutical to the array of inorganic material, okay, which undergoes the microelectronics and telecommunication industries. While these are similar in production volume, then the commodity chemicals we have mentioned, their economic and social impacts are also enormous. Clearly, the chemical engineer must be familiar with the chemical reactor design, analysis, and operation. And one criteria is consideration of chemical equilibrium, because in the reactor design, two most important concepts are considered. One is the speed of the reaction, or the speed of the process of converting raw material into products, that comes under the area of chemical kinetics. And other one is the extent of reaction, or the maximum possible conversion. The maximum possible conversion is equilibrium conversion, that comes under the area of chemical reaction equilibrium. We know, so the reactions in which a raw material or a reactant is converted to a product, these reactions can be reversible or can be irreversible. Irreversible reactions can complete 100%, but reversible reaction cannot complete. What is a reversible reaction? When the reaction starts, the reactant will decrease and the product will increase. That is known as forward reaction. And the reactant will decrease up to a certain percent. After that, the reactant will not decrease, it will stop. At that time, what happened? The backward reaction starts. So at some point, when there is no net change in the reaction, either reactant or product, that situation is known as equilibrium. At equilibrium, the forward rate is equal to reverse rate. So we can say that is the maximum possible attained by this reaction, and the composition at that point is known as equilibrium composition. So in industrial practice, many industrial reactions are not carried to equilibrium. Although equilibrium is there, the real operation of industrial reactors are not at equilibrium. So reactor design is often based on reaction rate or other considerations such as rate of heat and mass transfers. So we can say they are based on their rate, that is the time required to conversion, or the speed of the conversion or speed of the reaction. However, the choice of operating condition may still be influenced by equilibrium conditions. Moreover, the equilibrium state provides reference against which to measure improvement in a process. Sorry. That means if we know the equilibrium conversion or the maximum conversion, we can predict up to what extent we can go, or we will try. So, chemical equilibrium considerations often determine whether investigation of a new process is worthwhile. That means if we know the equilibrium point, we can try to achieve it. For example, if thermodynamic analysis indicates that a yield of only 20% is possible at equilibrium, and if a 50% yield is necessary for a process to be economically attractive, there is no purpose in producing with further analysis. So, if we know the if we know the equilibrium limit, and if we have already achieved say 95 or 97% of the equilibrium point, then we need not to try further. We can stop there. So that is one important point the chemical equilibrium will tell you. So our system of teaching learning is outcome based teaching learning. So what is the chapter outcome? There is a course outcome, but individual chapter also have outcome. So these outcomes are written with respect to Bloom's taxonomy words. So after studying this chapter, what the student is going to achieve, or what the student able to do, so they are listed here. So after completing this chapter and also solving the problems, chapter and problems, assignment problems, one should be able to define the reaction coordinate for a single reaction and for a multiple reaction coordinates, and write species concentration in terms of reaction coordinate or coordinates. That is, for a single reaction it is reaction coordinate, for multiple reaction it is reaction coordinates. We designate reaction coordinate as epsilon. For a single reaction it is epsilon, for a multiple reaction it is epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3. 1, 2, 3 are reaction numbers. Then understand that minimization of Gibbs energy with respect to allowable change is a general criterion for equilibrium of chemical reactions. That means the criteria of chemical equilibrium is Gibbs energy minimization, where Gibbs energy of the reaction is minimum, that is the condition of equilibrium, or change in Gibbs energy, that is a derivative of Gibbs energy, should be 0. Then the student will able to define the standard Gibbs energy of reaction and the equilibrium constant, and compute the standard Gibbs energy of reaction and the equilibrium constant from tables of thermodynamic data. That means the student will able to compute Gibbs energy of reaction from Gibbs energy of formation and heat of reaction from heat of formation. Then after getting Gibbs energy, the student can compute the equilibrium constant. Understand that the majority of the temperature dependence of reaction equilibrium is given by d ln k by dt is equal to minus delta H naught by RT square, which implies that a plot of ln k versus 1 by 2 are very nearly linear. This is the very important equation. This is known as Van't Hoff equation. This is relating to equilibrium constant with standard heat of reaction and the relation between K and T. We shall discuss all details during the course. Then compute the equilibrium constant for a reaction at arbitrary temperature using heat capacity, integrals with standard enthalpies of formation and Gibbs energy of formation. Solve for the equilibrium composition of a mixture of gases undergoing one or more chemical reactions in the ideal gas state. For example, using pure component fugacity coefficient for moderate deviation from the ideal gas state and using mixture fugacity coefficient for conditions where deviations from the ideal gas state are more significant. Solve for the equilibrium composition of a liquid mixture undergoing one or more chemical reactions, including non-ideal solutions where the treatment must include activity coefficient. That means these course outcomes written with respect to Bloom's taxonomy words, it will give a guideline how the student will prepare for their examinations. Both means mid-sem exam, end-sem exam, and also internal exams or evaluations. So basically you have to prepare in this line for your chapter evaluation. These are the expected outcomes from this chapter. In this one, I want to clear that few of outcomes are very lengthy and very difficult. Difficult in this sense means it involves lengthy correlations, so that a student may not able to memorize everything and to work in this end-sem exam. So this type of questions which involves very lengthy correlations, for example, solving the equilibrium problems with respect to non-ideality, gas phase non-ideality and liquid phase ideality, non-ideality, they can be covered in your internal evaluation. Okay, where you can refer the textbook, you can refer the correlations, you can work out. These problems will require little bit of time, it will require more time, and you can achieve this. So this outcome also could be covered. Okay, so we will stop here because I am creating just a 20-minute video to give you a brief introduction of this chapter, chemical reaction equilibria, and we will continue it. We will continue the course in my other video lectures. Okay, thank you all.